How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SNDL Sundial Growers. It has had quite the pullback, and I was telling you guys this was necessary. It was needed for the stock to actually start going in the right direction. A lot of people were giving me hate. A lot of people were calling me crazy, calling me stupid, not knowing what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I'm here to make sure I'm giving you guys videos that have value, and I will not and I will never tell you guys to buy a stock while it's at the top. Because while it's at the top, you're exposing yourself to a lot of risk. I was telling you this could pull back into the 70-cent range, especially when it was trading around 90 cents. And of course, look where we are today. But you know what? I'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. I want to make sure you guys have a strategy. You are prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what is the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial Growers. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 74 cents, being down 6.10%. On the low, it tested 73 cents, and then on the high, testing 79 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 126.415 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 240.733 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and of course, we ended up seeing some pressure on the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 53.45. Keep in mind, it was as high being at 76.59. And this is part of the reasons why I tell you guys, you want to make sure you are patient and you're timing your entries correctly. Many people are asking me, should I be paying 90 cents for this stock? Do I need to get in right away? And I was like, if you believe in the long-term prospects, you should be patient so you can get a better entry. And look where we're at right now, closing the day at 74 cents. So this is why I want to emphasize this point, and I make sure that I keep it real with you guys on this channel. But aside from that, we want to see that SNDL finish completing the gap. No, it has not as of yet. So in order for the gap fill to be completed, it needs to come down to 73 cents on the nose. Most preferably, if it came down to 72 cents, that would be great as well, and that gap will be filled. And then we can look forward to seeing some consolidation. Preferably, I would love to see us being able to hold up support above the 50-day here, right around 69 cents, or hey, even better, maybe around 70 cents. So at least we can consolidate, build a base. You can think about taking an entry and then get ready for the next move up. Of course, I don't have to tell you guys already, it is definitely looking fairly bearish, and this is part of the reasons why there's more downside here. And as far as for the moving averages, we are below the 200-day. We're also below the 100-day, but we still continue to have strength above the 50-day and as well as a 21-day EMA. So continue to keep an eye on this play. And like I said, if you believe in the long-term prospects, wait for it to come down to the prices that I've been telling you guys about. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SNDL. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we're going to take a look at is for November the 17th date. So we see Consolidated Planning Corp that purchased 600 shares, and we also have a closed position from Centeva Capital LP. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 40.17%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 39.6 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.4 million, updated 13 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 8.0%. 1.96%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 16th, it was at 24.75, and then for the close of the 17th, which was yesterday, being at 40.17. So what this tells us right away, shorts are heavily vested in SNDL and they have increased their positions. This also does mean this play continues to have short squeeze potential, and this is why I want to make sure you guys have a strategy and make sure you're not in the middle of a falling knife and making sure you time your entries correctly. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SNDL. So we can see here on the inflow was at 21.31, and then on the outflow it was 27.37. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, we had 0 on the large, on the medium you had 11.42, and then on the small you have 9.89. Taking a look at the outflow side, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 14.01, and then on the small it was 13.36. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the past 4 trading days it has been 0. Now when we take a look at that breakdown even further, the small scale side tends to represent the retail side. We had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the medium side, we had more selling than we had buying. And of course, when we take a look at the large, it was 0. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 6.21%. So this is not too bad whatsoever, but keep in mind there are many who have sold out of their positions, and we saw that clearly from the order flow. We do have many who are continuing to hold on to their shares as well, but I do see this stock wanting to pull back even further, especially to fill in that gap. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SNDL Sundial Growers, as far as the gap fill that I talked about in the previous video, we are getting close to filling it. I'd like to see the stock get down to around 72 to the low 73 cent area for that to be accomplished. And then what I want to look for is consolidation. I want to see us form a base so when we're ready to make that strong pop, things are looking healthy. The reason why this is also important, and the reason why when it comes to trading off of charts, you want to make sure that as far as gaps are concerned, you want to protect your downside risk. And that's why I emphasized it in the last video. I wasn't being a hater. I wasn't being a bear. I'm looking out for you guys to give you the information that you need so you can make the right decisions. This also makes me want to get into the next point. Many people are saying, well, you know what? It's okay. Buy SNDL at 90 cents or in the 80-cent range. And I always said, you know what? That is too high. I dealt with a lot of hate for that, but you know what? I don't care because I want to make sure when I put this channel together, I am not trying to pump you guys up to buy stocks at the high. That is not right. If you were able to be patient, of course, you could have snagged some shares at a lot lower of a price. Wouldn't you rather pay somewhere between 73, 74 cents as opposed to paying 95 cents a share? Let's be honest here. At the end of the day, you're putting your money in the stock market because you want to get a return on your investment and you want to maximize your profits. And in order to do that, you need to have a strategy and make sure that you're timing your entries correctly. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, we could see it does have short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why I do keep it on the radar. But at the end of the day, just know as far as for the cannabis industry as a whole, it has witnessed a pullback on the day, and also the markets were choppy. So I don't want you guys to ignore this and be like, well, you know what, I'm going to buy it at any price regardless, because in the end, you are putting yourself at risk. And if you are a long-term investor, the most important thing to you is whatever position you decide to take, there's not a lot of downside risk. You want to be able to maximize your upside. And if you are going to be trading this play, then you want to know what are those areas of support, you want to know those areas of resistance, so you know, okay, here's my game plan going in, and these are the levels that I need to know so I can make sure that I protect my profits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.